Hello and welcome to this taste challenge. This is going to be a preemptive video. I'm going to preempt this for Friday. I mean, Friday could be a day. We may not even have electricity, but I hope not. It'll be freezing in this house, like literally freezing. But anyway, I was thinking about this for hours, and I was like, man, we in Louisiana is going to be really bad. Imagine what it's going to be like in Michigan and Ohio, you know. But I said, I'll just do it because it could be another offline situation. I was offline for 2 days this past week, Sunday and Monday, which wasn't really related to weather. It was just related to an equipment failure. Some of the internet service providers' equipment failed. But anyway, so I said, let me just do this. And then I'll just probably keep preempting every day until all this passes. And then once it settles down, we just go day to day, you know, with the taste challenges. But we have Royal Kentucky whiskey with natural flavors. It says finest quality on the crown. Did you know Kentucky doesn't have a governor? They have a king. All the other states have governors. Kentucky has a king. I didn't know that. Royal Blue Kentucky whiskey with natural flavors. Now, I had a hard time figuring out what this stuff was, but finally I figured it out. Took a long time. It's listed on the Heaven Hill product specifications. There's no website listing for it. Like if you look on Heaven Hill under our brands, you ain't going to see this. You can forget it. But there is a list on their little file page, which is just text, you know, no photos. And it's under their, what they call blended whiskey. They call it Royal Spirit Blend. I said, okay, so it's a blended whiskey. A blended whiskey is a spirit blend. And this comes in all sorts of sizes. Now, on Spec's website, it's a big Texas liquor store chain. They're showing it as a blended whiskey, Kentucky blended whiskey. It says Royal Kentucky whiskey, a blend. But no, what I bought is Kentucky bourbon whiskey with natural flavors, which is telling me it's Kentucky blended bourbon. And actually, blended bourbon is a type of bourbon. It has to be at least 51% straight bourbon. And the other 49% can be grain neutral spirits, unaged corn spirits. Doesn't have to be. That's the minimum requirement. It could be, you know, 90-10, 80-20, 70-30, 60-40. But the minimum is 51-49. But if you read if you read the regulations for blended bourbon, it is allowed to have flavoring and coloring added, and it does not have to be disclosed. But there are rules about it. You know, the flavoring cannot, it says NTE, not to exceed, I think it says not to exceed 2.5% of the volume, something like that. You can go look ttb.gov, look under distilled spirits glossary, the glossary of distilled spirits. All right, anyway, here's a more normal product. Cooper's Craft Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, 82.2 proof. So it's a little stronger, 41.1% alcohol as opposed to 40% alcohol. No age statement. Neither one of these have an age statement, which means they're aged at least 4 years, both of them. This is from Brown-Forman, the makers of Jack Daniels and Old Forester. So if you ever drank Old Forester, that's part of Brown-Forman. Jack Daniels got bought out by Brown-Forman in 1956. And Cooper's Craft is a new Brown-Forman product from only 2016, 6 years ago. There's also a bottled and bond, which I have seen. And I think there's some other versions too that they don't really talk about on the website. But anyway, Cooper's Craft, it's charcoal mellowed like Jack Daniels, but through Beech and Birch. Oh, Beech and Birch charcoal. Beechwood and birchwood charcoal. Give it a different flavor profile. And Cooper's Craft is in honor of the Brown-Forman cooperage in Louisville, Kentucky, which was started in 1945 at the end of the Second World War. Or maybe you could call it the World War Part 2. The World War Part 2. So it runs about $25 a bottle. But I had the pleasure of getting it for $14.99 at Mathern's Market. I don't know why they had it that cheap. It seemed low. You know, I saw that price and I was like, that seems low. And I went on the internet at my convenience when I got the chance. And I was like, oh, no, it's $10 cheaper because everybody had it for $24.99. So I was like, yep, I'm buying it. It turned out pretty good. Is it great? Nah. Is it enjoyable? Yeah. Is it quality? Yeah, because it comes from Brown-Forman. They don't put out junk. Yeah, it's fine. Is it real popular? Doesn't seem to be. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. Don't see a lot of videos for it. See some occasionally. They had big billboards for it when it first hit the market. That didn't last. Hi, Ron, buddy. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, says David Arthur in the Dominion of Canada. Hello, David in Canada. Thanks for watching. He wanted to know if I watch hockey. I really don't watch hockey. Years ago in the early 80s, early to mid 80s, I did watch hockey when it used to be on the USA Network, and they had the Hartford Whalers. Remember that old team? But then after they left, I was like, I ain't watching this. I wasn't really that into it when I watched it, but you know, I still check the scores every morning, check the standings. I know Boston is in first place. They got the best record right now. I can't remember who's in last. Cooper's Craft is dark. It's copper. And Royal is just, you know, gold, amber gold. What was the price of Royal? I got to close my eyes because if I look, I'm going to tell them apart by just a shade. Look, I bought Royal in Arkansas and it was $7.99. Yeah, it was $7.99 for Royal. No, not in Arkansas. What am I saying? I was in Houston, Texas in May of 2022. And I was at this nice little liquor store. Let me tell you, not anything elaborate. It was just a neighborhood liquor store. And I can tell you what street it was on, and I can tell you the name of the store if you needed to know that. I won't get into that now. But I was like, man, I'm so happy I went to this store. And the two ladies that were running it were so friendly. And it was so clean in there, well organized. Everything was like perfectly spaced. You know, wasn't one of these stores that looked like it was, you know, a wreck. Yeah, I know. It was very nicely organized. And I saw this stuff on the shelf, Royal. I said, what in the world? And I said, for the price, I gotta buy it, you know. And then I saw two rums, gold and silver, called well, you probably heard of Calypso. It's pretty common. But when I saw the price, I was like, I'm buying this. $5.98. No, $5.89. I got it backwards. $5.89 a bottle. And that's way cheaper than normal. I was like, I don't know what's going on here in Houston, but I'm not asking questions. I'm getting it and getting out. And that's exactly what I did. I got my stuff and I got out there. I mean, I'm sure they priced it accurately. I'm just saying I don't know why it was so cheap. Then I drove down the road a little bit toward the west and went to St. Arnold Brewery. Took a wonderful tour. Had some great beers. Yes. Then I went to a college baseball game. Did a lot of stuff that day. Went on a long hike in a national wildlife refuge in Texas. Got scared after a long time. I said, how long does this trail go? You see these things on the Weather Channel, like people keep walking and they get lost. I was like, not me. Once I got to that bayou and I looked at the pretty scenery, but it was a long walk. But ate some good Mexican food. went to the liquor store, went to the brewery tour, drank beer at the brewery, walked around Houston, crossed the old bridge from 1939 by foot. I walked across it. You could drive on it. And then I went to a college baseball game. Prairie View A&M at Texas Southern. Yep. It's a very fun day. Well, this smells like corn. Shockingly. Corn, oak, vanilla. Beech. Birch. You know, I'm being silly, but darkness is coming. This smells like nothing. I mean, literally, it smells like just the faintest little bit of sweetness, like sugar or something. I'm telling you, it doesn't have much aroma. Boy, that is basic, and it's a finest quality. Oh, really? All right, doesn't smell bad. Like, I'm not smelling anything like, repellent. Like, oh, what is this? Yuck. Just not smelling anything. Which I did not get that experience in the solo review, which when it gets posted, you'll see. It's the funniest thing with these whiskeys. If you drink them in isolation, they taste a lot different than when you put them in a taste challenge. I don't understand that. Yeah, so this is Cooper's Craft. I got it right on aroma only. I promise you. There's no way I got it wrong. You'll see it's darker anyway. Yep, got it right. What's that, 3 in a row, 4 in a row? There it is. Letter C, Cooper's Craft. Got the tags below. So, I'm not saying that Royal is so bad that you can just guess it on aroma only every time. But maybe that is what's going on. I mean, it's a pattern. It keeps happening. I can't say I'm not saying I'm recommending it, but you might be like me and you like these strange products. If you see something odd and it's such a low price, you might say, no, I'll buy it. What the heck? Remember, don't look for one Friday. There's not going to be a taste challenge Friday because today is counting for Friday because of that weather, Yeah. Charred oak, vanilla, nectar, rock candy, honeysuckle, charcoal, all your typical, stereotypical, regular bourbon flavors. So I don't see why somebody would come. My friend David was saying that stuff's not that good. When I first tried Cooper's Craft, I agreed with him. I said, you know what? It's really not that good. It's some weird flavor about it. And I don't know where my mind was, or it could have been a situation where I wasn't used to the flavor. And now I'm through most of the bottle. You can see what's left. So I've gotten attuned to the flavor. I've gotten used to it. Now I like it a lot. I would highly recommend Cooper's Craft. This is no joke. $25 a bottle? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now, I only paid $14.99. That's why it's even double. But, it's smooth, easy going. I'm drinking it at room temperature with no ice, no mixing. Oh, it is dino. This is Destively Bonnaroo. Okay, so this is Destively Bonnaroo. You want to get it. Oh, yeah. I ain't saying it's the greatest thing, that. I'm just saying it's pleasant. It's enjoyable. I like it. I would buy it again in a theoretical sense. You are welcome, Ron, buddy. No worries. My team is Montreal Canadiens. Well, they're a famous team, David. Drewski Brewski says, hello, Ronaldo Bebaldo. Thank you. Ricky and Morty Impressionist says, hello, Ronald. Okay. Drewski Brewski. Okay, Ronald DeFaldo. Okay, well, they're out on some other world right now. Just picked some. Cheers, says Tom. Jack Daniel's apple and Jack Daniel's honey. Jack Daniel's honey is pretty good stuff. I never tried the apple, but I'm sure it's fine. Sure, it's very nice. Maxwell says, hello, Ron. Hello to you, Maxwell. Late at night in the Russian Federation. Better go get some sleep. Jim says, what do you think of Natty Daddy? I'm very favorable towards it. I don't drink. It's too strong for me. I don't drink 8% beers. But stay tuned, Jim, because in January, we have a special Wednesday night examination of Natty Daddy, the natural father. So we're going to review the natural father. Yep. Ron, buddy, we have a winter storm coming our way Thursday night, and I hope I don't lose my hydro for Christmas. Yeah, it's coming our way too, and I'm pretty nervous about it. Be praying about it, you know. We can't deal with that in Louisiana too well. Okay, so Cooper's Craft, it's a winner all the way. I can't really, there's nothing wrong with it. If I said in the past it had a weird off flavor, I was wrong. It was me. It wasn't the whiskey, it was me. That's usually the problem. That is usually the case. If I say a beer or a wine or a liquor has an off flavor, if I keep drinking it, then I've come to find out it's me. It's not the product. I can't do that with Bell's because Bell's pretty much left Louisiana. We don't really get Bell's anymore. So I didn't have the opportunity to drink through them and see if that was the case. Now let's look at, that aftertaste is really rich wood. I like the way they did that Beech and Birch charcoal mellowing. Good job, Brown-Forman, as usual. Now Royal. Don't think royalty's drinking it. Still doesn't have any flavor. I mean aroma, taste. Nice sounding flavor profile, says Oliver. It really is. It really is. That's your winner right there. That's an all-time. I don't mean an all. I mean it's always going to win. Is what I'm saying. Is like you're never going to go wrong with Cooper's Craft. Brown-Forman's got it going on. They don't do bad stuff. All right. From Heaven Hill Royal. Now, look, I'm not saying Brown-Forman doesn't have some budget whiskeys on the market under an alias name. They probably do. I don't think I ran across them yet. I might have and didn't know what I was drinking. But I can't say it has a bad flavor because it doesn't. It doesn't have much flavor. It's just like a little sugar. You know, just like a little bit of sugar water, which I guess you could get from sweet corn. Charred oak and all of that. Nah. It's kind of hard to describe this product. Is it better than an American blended whiskey? I mean, it is a blended whiskey, but it's a blended bourbon. It's not, it's different than blended whiskey. Is it better? Yeah, it's better. If you take a strong gulp of it, you can get flavor. If you take a little sip, you don't get much flavor. If you kind of gulp it, you'll get the wood, the charred oak, and the corn and the charcoal and that. It's not better than Seagram's 7 Crown, though. It's better than most American blended whiskeys, but I don't think it would compete against Seagram's 7. Nah, it'll get killed. But then I don't cross style. I wouldn't cross an American blended whiskey with American blended bourbon. They're not the same thing. They're close, but they're not really that close. Okay. And I mean, you could go look on the internet on your phone or your laptop or your desktop. Look up a search, American blended bourbon brands. I mean, it'll bring up so many brands your head will spin. Most of them are not really that famous, you know, but they're around. It's just not a style of whiskey that's real popular. I don't think it ever was, but it exists as evidenced by me having some. Um, would I recommend it? I mean, yeah, kind of. I would kind of recommend it for $7.99. I mean, you could sip it. You're not gonna get much out of it. I mean, do what you want with it. It's probably a mixer, though. I mean, it is a mixer, but I could sip it with no problem. I just wouldn't have much to think about it or say about it. You know, I wouldn't say, "Oh, it's so elaborate." I'd just be like, "Oh, it's so ordinary," you know. But it's fine for what it is. I mean, heck, do I regret buying it? No, I don't. I don't regret buying it. Is it going to win any taste challenges? I seriously doubt it. I seriously doubt it. But you never know with these things. You can get shocked. So thank you for watching Friday's taste challenge, even though it's only Tuesday. We jumping way ahead because of some concerns, weather concerns. Thanks, everybody.